Okay, hello, we are back. Day drinking once again. I know I'm late. I'm sorry. But I got some good stuff. Got some good stuff for y'all. I was gonna do a big Armagnac tasting, but I realized none of this stuff that I want to taste is even in the country. So we'll save that for after Christmas when there's a little bit more time in the day. I got a bunch of Cardinats, Barillon, all that good stuff. And so today I decided I'm going to give the people what they want. Bourbon. How about that? Can you believe it? There's a lot of bourbon to go around. We're going to try the two competing Ezra barrels. Fabulous stuff. Surprisingly similar, yet distinct. They're distilled at two different distilleries. The new Remus pick, that's a much more typical mash bill. This is barrel 1109. I think we tasted the other barrel on here at one point. Our new Maker's Mark. This just arrived. You can see the staff had enjoyed it, to say the least. So hopefully lots of staff reviews coming. And yeah. And then we're going to try a couple of other picks, little surprises here and there. I'm going to start with the new Buffalo Trace pick that's just coming in. That is K&L exclusive Buffalo Trace barrel number 171. Let me see if I can get the details on this. Sometimes they send them to us, but I feel like I never did get them. Let's see how we... No, I don't have any information about when that was distilled. Oh, great. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, this we picked out in April when we were there. Bottled as usual at 90 proof. It was really cool what they've done at the Buffalo Trace Distillery now for barrel picks. They've carved out a little space in Warehouse H. That's the corrugated steel warehouse. I'm using the Ben Ewan glass today. I couldn't get my Glencairns. This is a wonderful glass designed by friend of the store and excellent customer Brian Green. If you're looking for a new nosing glass, it's definitely one to consider. Hand blown, I believe, in the Czech Republic, he told me. Does a lot for your whiskey. I'm always evaluating Glencairn because it's sort of become a benchmark for me, but this is actually a more pleasurable way to drink. I think he has some to sell on his website, Ben Ewan. He doesn't have them for us yet. I don't believe there's enough stock because they are truly handmade. So anyway, Warehouse H, beautiful corrugated steel, very different warehouse from the rest of Buffalo Trace. And you actually get to see the barrels right there. And even we were able to, taste the same whiskey at cask strength, and then they have it proofed down, warmed up a little bit. It's quite cold in those warehouses. Wow, this has a great, very classic Buffalo Trace nose. Lots of candied citrus peel. Good barrel spice here. Sweet kind of maple character. So drinkable. Pretty light-bodied, really, compared to some of the cask strength whiskeys we'll be trying later. But sometimes, if you don't want to get hammered with high-proof stuff, not a lot beats a good old K&L barrel pick of Buffalo Trace. Foodie versus Ass. Yeah, we were able to look at the barrels and pull cask strength samples, not samples, but just a little bitty taste. I don't even know if we're supposed to do that. So if that's not allowed, that didn't happen. Don't want to piss off our friends at Buffalo Trace Distillery, the old George T. Stagg's distillery there. How does that compare to the last 2 barrel picks? I couldn't say. I don't remember. I'm sure it's equal, if not better. Not in stock in San Francisco, but if you hang on with me, if you suffer through the next 5 whiskeys, you might get a shot. That's pretty tasty. $30. Obviously, like all the Sazerac barrel picks, when it hits the site, it will sell out very, very fast. But it will hit the site, and I will be telling you exactly when. Just stay with me here. Next, we're going to try these 2 Ezra Brooks. This is barrel 1225 and 785 1171. Same brand, 2 different distilleries. The long skew indicates it's coming from likely, well, confirmed more or less, the Bernheim distillery, Heaven Hill stocks that they're transitioning away from. This mash bill is the classic 10% rye, so pretty low rye mash bill, high malt, 12% malt, something that the Heaven Hill guys have been doing for a long time. They've been selling to Ezra Brooks and the other Luxco brands, and now that Luxco has opened Lux Row, no Ezra 7 rye. No, I haven't seen any of the Ezra rye, age-dated rye. Now that they sell to Lux Row, they are, moving into their own stocks. My only complaint about this brand is the word, use of the word cask strength. I think we can all agree that that's not the proper terminology here, but they don't seem to understand it or care or whatever. Doesn't matter. Whiskey tastes great. It's not expensive, $50. These whiskey glasses are the Ben Ewan by Brian Green. New glass. Yeah, I couldn't find my Glencairns. So big, kind of spicy nose for a low rye whiskey. A lot of barrel spice there. Not that kind of green rye spice. A little bit kind of gravelly and earthy, which I love. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Wild Turkey. Sorry, guys. I'll put this... Can you see it here? Let me see. I know you guys love to see the bottle while I'm tasting it. Is that better? This is the first barrel, the Heaven Hill distilled barrel of Ezra. You missed the Buffalo Trace already. That was pretty tasty. Little cask of Buffalo Trace. Boom. It's 171. Not on the site yet, but give it time. Good balancing sweetness, but some dark, kind of almost not licorice-y, but kind of sarsaparilla-y, kind of root beery, kind of creaminess. That's a fun barrel. Although the entire staff preferred this barrel, 1225, which is the Luxco distilled. It's 6 months younger than the Heaven Hill. Exact same mash bill, so we're really treading into the minutia of the differences, and they are very different. I highly recommend anybody who's interested to try both of them side by side and acknowledge what the difference is. Of course, Bernheim, one of the very biggest distilleries in super high tech. Walking in there is like, they make you put on headphone, ear muffs, and it feels like the whole building when the stills are running is gonna like launch into the atmosphere. They have these insane, cooling. They're very proud of the cooling, the mash cooling system. This huge wall of pipes that acts to cool the wort, making the process much more efficient because they have to cool it and then heat it back up. There you go. Isn't that weird? So very different character here. It is, you know, obviously similar pedigree, but more sweetness, more overt sweetness here, more fruit. Chuck has noted there's some little book on the site. Thank you, Chuck. That's always great for my loyal watchers to get access to things based on your incredible detective work on there. Kind of subtle floral character. More on the caramel, less on that dark spice. Really rich and round and sweet on the palate. I like that barrel a lot. You know, two sides of the same coin, same mash bill, more or less the same process. Very, very different tasting barrels. We're going to move on to the other MGP-owned product. Lux Row, of course, sold to the prominent rye distiller in Indiana. This is a bourbon from that wonderful, massive distillery. You know, you can argue about the label, what have you, but the whiskey is pretty dang good. They also say cask strength on this, but turns out that's not accurate. Again, not a legal term, but, you know, industry accepted term. Nonetheless, the whiskey's awesome. This is that high rye mash bill. So this is the same mash bill and likely similar yeast strains to what's being used in Four Roses. And that would be the B mash bill. And they have similar similar codes at MGP as well, which is really interesting. I couldn't tell you which yeast strain this is, but it's probably V or K. They're most, you know, used, or similar ones to that, because they've been using the same stuff forever. Biggest differences, I mean, even the warehouses are relatively similar. Big brick warehouses at MGP, but more consistent temperature, certainly than a high, you know, the high altitude warehouses at in Kentucky that you'd see at Heaven Hill or something. What do you think Remus is thinking in that photo? Yeah, it kind of looks like he wants to kill you, but there you go. You know, he was pretty much a badass of his time. A lot of people kind of associate him with maybe like the Boardwalk Empire version of him, which was kind of idiotic and bumbling. At least, you know, maybe he wasn't the most gentrified fellow, but he was the most important whiskey man of his day. I'd love to know which yeast they're using. I can ask them. I don't think they're the same, but I think there are similarities. But they might even use the same terminology. This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. I was just talking with a customer this morning about this whiskey. It does love air. Just opened this one. Lots of complexity on the nose. Here we're moving into the really deep sort of woodsy underbrush. Some behind that we're got a little bit of maple, almost a little kind of cherry note or black fruited note. Took me 15 years to get this out. So, you know, on the palate, tons of rye spice. Gotta love that. Really juicy, piney, complex, slightly green, perhaps. Oh God, I'm sorry guys. I know you like to have the bottles here. Really a lot going on. These picks are, you know, really undervalued. I don't know if it's the branding or what, but you know, there are so few Kentucky distilleries out there that I can put on the shelf and no people aren't snatching them up instantly. Maybe it's the fact that they write cask strength on them and they're not properly cask strength, but they're very close, you know, so the quality isn't so much. It's just the Why did I spit it out? I got a long day ahead of me, man. And a lot more whiskey to drink. Yeah, like, almost like, has a kind of a buttery character now. Like a beautiful, like, pastry of some kind. That's a killer cask. Yeah, yep. Look for 1109. It's like mini Four Roses. And let's taste Maxi Four Roses now. Look at that bad boy. That's a 10.5 year OESK selected. We're back in business with our friends at Four Roses. Couldn't be happier. Yeah, there's some kind of marzipan-y. I kind of hate marzipan, so I don't usually call that out because I'm specifically avoiding it. I don't know why I hate marzipan so much. Maybe, I don't know. Look up the Swiss holiday of Escalade. There's a lot of marzipan eating. It's a childhood trauma. Okay, voila. Well, you know, this isn't quite on the same level as the Remus, but still, dang, lots of similarities there. Denser, darker, much older, twice the age, twice the price. More maple, more barrel, of course. Kind of a corny, cornbread and butter on the nose. I guess I'm hungry, huh? Well, that's a killer barrel. I like that a lot. You won't want to miss it. Of course, it won't really be here, but you'll see what I'm gonna do. Finally, Big Boy Makers Wheated Bourbon. This is our second barrel private select using the new Mondiant cask varietal. The last one was more broadly dispersed across the various types. This one we really wanted to highlight the new cask. We didn't like it all by itself per se, but with just a twinge of seared French cuvee to keep it from being too sort of syrupy, we really liked it. This is my first time tasting this since we selected the cask, so I'll be excited to do that, to taste it with you here for the first time. Picked out in April of 2022, same time we picked out that Buffalo Trace barrel. Pretty awesome stuff. Yeah, this all comes home with me after. Sorry, sometimes I'm not able to keep up with all the. Steve says French cuvee is your go-to makers. For me, I'm a baked American pure. You know, I think there's something that really highlights the makersiness of it, and that's always how I lean to it. But it wasn't working. That was just adding more sweetness when we were doing it, trying to do the different staves with the Mondiant. Here we go. Oh yeah, raisiny, like golden raisins. Lots of kind of almost like a rose water note. Mahogany after that. The nose is very exotic. Very, very exotic here on the nose. And then goes back the other way on the palate. Big sweetness up front on the palate. Almost like, again, fresh baked goods. I guess I'm hungry or something. It's like a croissant, a fine croissant. There's a little forest floor, not so much crayon. Definitely a little forest floor. A very, very good cask. And like all of these, love air. This is just going to get better, I can tell. It's not, luckily, which I'm always worried about these. Sometimes when they start out, that first pour is like a little bit popsicle sticky. It's a little bit like obvious wood, not the complexity. But this is... I do have two remises, Bob. The one I tasted, they're very different from each other. This is barrel, put it on the side. Of course, they didn't put barrel numbers on these guys. They're going to fix that, they say. Barrel 1109. The other one is high malted rye, a very different character, very interesting whiskey, but not as typical. What's the proof on this one? A fine question. 108.6 cask strength. Of course, these are small batch blends before. They dump about 10 barrels and then portion them off into these private picks. I'll say it again, makers just sell us a barrel. I'll keep buying these if you sell me one of those. Well, I'm going to keep buying these anyway. They're delish, but still wouldn't mind. Oh, this is opening up nice. Now we're getting more of that raisin, more of that sweetness on the nose, caramel sauce and gingerbread. Oh yeah, this was a good pick. Good for us. Good for you. This is available. It's in stock, on the site. So, now, all you good people, it is now exactly 2 o'clock. I'm going ahead. We're going to launch that stinking Buffalo Trace onto the website. So get your little mouse pointers out. You ready for this? Everybody go ahead. Go now. I think I have almost enough for all of you. But of course, you've got all these other people out there, non-day drinkers. They might have access too. That's the real tragedy here. So you'll want to be ready. I would go ahead, you could even Google the SKU. Let me see. I'll give that to you. I don't care. Guys. Let's find out. You guys can be ready, waiting. We're going to prime the pump here. Just got to find everything. Okay, we're giving you early access here. Got to stick with me, though. I know this is the boring part. Talk amongst yourselves. Working on it. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Mine was lovely. All right, here, this looks pretty good. Okay. Let me make sure there's no description on this. Just blocked? Use your phone. Quit refreshing. I'm going to give you all the information you need, 100% of it. Okay. Google or search SKU 1647108. Right now, it should come up. You should see the SKU. And it's live. Go ahead. Have at it. Ready to roll. Get in there, boys. 1647108 is the SKU. 164. Yeah, that's something different. Quebec's got it. Jump on that, boys. All right, there's 100 bottles live, prime the pump, ready to go. All yours. We got 102 people here. I don't know if we'll make it. In the meantime, I'm going to give away 30 of these. If you email me today, OESK, it's $90. They raised the price. Nobody cares. Nobody seems to care about me. Apparently, it's still a great value. $90. OESK, specially selected in July. This we didn't get to do in Kentucky because we hadn't made up yet. I have 30 of these, and I am going to make you send me some trivia. Email to daydrinking@klwines.com. The year that the Four Roses Distillery site was founded. Like, when did they start Just throw any date in there, whatever. Just Google something, put it in. You're not going to get kicked out unless you're way, way off. What tier? What tier is this? Okay, I'll give you all the information. Warehouse number QN. Warehouse Q North. Barrel number 51 2V. Are there two different Four Roses barrels? There were two selected, but we've only received one. So no, there's just the one. And that's it, guys. There's a bunch of Buffalo Trace on the website for all you. Thank you, SoCal Bourbon Finds, for putting that email address up for all those watching. For those watching later, you'll have till the end of today to enter for Four Roses barrel pick. It is, when was it founded? When was the Four Roses Distillery founded? Very old distillery site. How do you search by SKU on this website? Just type the SKU into the search box. And is this a super minty one? No, I wouldn't call it super minty. F tends to be mintier. Looking forward to cracking open ECBP pick tonight. Great news, Jeff. Did you grab one in the store? I'm glad you did. Other news. Oh, guess what? Our Weller barrel's still not back. And they sent our Blanton's barrels to Bottle Barn. Hilarious. Oh, gosh. Apparently, they're also sending it back. You don't want to get blacklisted by Sazerac for doing something silly, like selling someone else's barrel on purpose. Any idea when Springbank will hit the site? Might be. Their warehouse is closed. If it doesn't come today, it'll be next week, I think. Yeah, probably next week. I'm thinking Tuesday, Wednesday. Can someone... Big Shanto's freaking out. Let's see how... there's 6 left, guys, so not a whole lot. Just Google Buffalo Trace. Should come right up. And you still got a chance, Big Shanto. I hope you're not stressing too much, man. It's just whiskey. 2 left. And it's sold out. That was fun. Please stop lowering Kavalan prices. You just made me get more when I still have unopened bottles. You know, it's like buying stocks. When the stock goes down, if you believe in it, you got to keep buying, man. Keep buying. So you're just taking that cost average down. You got to believe. In any case, no, we will stop. We will stop lowering the price on the Kavalans because they're going to be sold out. So we'll finally be done. We're looking to do something fun for Cyber Monday. Everybody loves Cyber Monday. Giving Tuesday. We didn't do anything for Giving Tuesday. I feel bad about that now that I've mentioned it. Was there a thing on Wednesday? I don't know. Whiskey Wednesday? Go buy some whiskey on Wednesday. How do we miss that? Jesus Christ. So for all you bros who are upset that they didn't get a bottle now, I'm gonna throw 16 more on. Actually 26, 24 more. 24. Can I do the math? Boom. All right, that's the last y'all get. Get in there. Day drinking with David Wednesdays. Yeah, that's every Wednesday. Not a special commercial holiday. Anyway, that's it. I see a fly on your nose. That's so weird. Boogers? No? Gross. Come on, David. Magnanimous. Okay, guys. Any other questions? The Blantons hopefully will be back from Bottle Barn next week. I don't know if it will. I really do hope so. So much Armagnac. I'm going to go enjoy that myself. And I'm excited that you guys enjoyed this episode. Yes, Andre, Kavalan, we had a Cyber Monday deal. It'll last maybe till the end of the weekend. I don't know. I think we were going to raise the price back up if it didn't sell by next Monday, but I think it will sell out. So go ahead and grab those if you need any. You're not going to find a better price on that anywhere in the world. We're now at like Taiwan prices, which is pretty good. Still locked out on your laptop. Use your iPhone. What happened with OESF? It's just not here yet, man. I don't know if it was an OESF. Maybe it was an OBSF, I believe. So will you be getting invoices out soon for EC private pick invoices? Did you win Black Ops? Yeah, I asked for confirmation that you still wanted the pick, because some people get antsy when they don't know what next week's will be. And so then they go back and forth deciding whether they want to keep their pick, their win from last week, or risk getting picked for the next one. It's cheaper than Taiwan Taipei Airport duty-free prices. Kavalon, so unreal. Agreed, Joker Manant. It is unreal. Better than Taiwan for once in our lives. And that's it, friends. Any last-minute questions, requests? What should we do next week? I have more scotch to drink, but it seems like you guys are all scotched out. I'm surely not. Oh, Four Roses trivia. Someone got it right. Great work, Andrew. Oh, we have 3 different... I just got 3 emails with 3 different dates. Okay, everybody wins. A long leg on your wine bottle? What is this guy talking about? Joseph, I love you, but I have no idea what you're talking about. More scotch. I love this. Okay, then it'll be more scotch. What other picks are on the horizon, Jeff? Oh my God. Well, we have the Weller and the Blantons that were sent to other stores. We have another Four Roses pick. We have 4 barrels of Russells that were supposed to be here this year, but the last one took 2 years to get here, so who knows? We have... someone wants me to compare the Bardstown Discos. Probably won't do that. Which Weller? It's a full proof. We gotta go full proof. I'm an antique. I like the 107. But, to be honest, the full proof is what the people want. And you can always cut it if you have to. We'd make more money with 107. You get more bottles. It's not really any cheaper than the full proof. I like a hair. Oh gosh, I've missed a lot of questions. You guys are talkative today. I like it. Hot that the Tiki Lover rum friend and he wants more. Yeah, it's very good. I don't know why that brand never worked. Perhaps because they never ever showed it to us. I really like those guys, but I don't think the distributors really were clued into what was going on there. Will there be seeing any aged Claren picks? Big Shanto? There's just the Coroni pick that we have right now. I'd highly recommend it. It's delicious. Haven't seen any of the sherry picks in a long time. Those were good. They got closed out. Nobody cared back then, but now everybody seems to want them. There is a new Claren-style rum coming from a small rural distillery in Ecuador. Highly recommend. They call it Puro there. Puro instead of Claren. Puro. So, yeah. Look out for that. Aged agricole. Yeah, I'm looking at some samples, surprisingly, those don't work so well for us. It's just not quite the market that we need to make those agricoles work. Rum in general is tough to do single barrels, to be perfectly frank. Certain things work. But look, I have a 27-year-old Hamden for less than $300 on the site. This is literally the most collectible rum in the world. And people are like, meh. What a meh. It's like buying Ardbeg 25 years ago. I think I wrote that in my review. Buying a single cask of Ardbeg when they were first releasing them. Or when independent bottlers still had them. 10 years from now, people are going to go look back and be like, holy crap, you paid $280 for Hamden 27-year-old Sea Diamond H? I can't believe it. You got such a deal, blah, blah, blah. But now people are like, oh, I don't have the money for that. I'll just buy a $300 bottle of Blanton's from the bodega next to my office. If we get 4R at the store, we would be disqualified for the raffle. Yeah, we'd really appreciate you just taking one. But if, I'm not gonna double check. So, I know you really need your 4 roses, Devin, so if you want to risk it, you've only got so many more raffles you can enter. What rum is this? What rum is this? Hamden 27-year-old. We sold it in half bottles for $180, a sister cask, last year. I was surprised that people wanted it, and now we have this other one. We haven't done any marketing around it, so there's that. But considering the response that we got from people on that rum, I was thinking that people would just snatch this up, like the Coronis. People are clued into Coroni. Those are getting sold quite well. Did we sell out of the Coroni? I think we might still have some. Maybe we should do rum next week. I think it might be a rum week. Oh, I have a little bit of Coroni left. There's a lot of rum out there to drink. Oof, 16 bottles of Coroni. I can sell 23-year-old Coroni for $300, but nobody touches the Hamden 27. No, that's not true. We sold a bunch of the Hamden 27. But it is, I guess, a controversial style. It's pretty intense. I'm so sorry to be that guy, but would you be willing to repeat the trivia question one more time? Michael Barrett Austin, don't worry. Just send me an email, daydrinking at KLWines.com. Maybe we'll do a mix of rum and scotch. And the question is, when was 4 Roses founded? Just give a date. Anything you find that seems reasonable. It's not 2007. Not yet saving up for a Coroni. Is the 27 still different from the 19? Yes, it is. Jack Stachio. It is very, very different. It's yes, some rum tastings. Okay, that's cool. Saw that the Weller Foolproof pick in San Diego last week. Hopefully, you saw it. Like, it was out on the floor. To Beat a Dead Horse, Kraganmore 25. What about it? It's really good. That's going to sell out. Anyway. All right, friends. That seems to be it. Unless there's any other pertinent issues you'd like to address here. West Side location. It's working on it. Fairmont is calling. Hell yeah, Kai. Hey, how's Japan, Kai? I hope you had fun. I'm jealous of Bex. And yeah, looking forward to it, guys. I'll be back next week, I think, with rum and scotch. Rum and scotch. Sounds like a plan, all right? Thanks for coming out. And I hope everybody enjoyed the show. We'll hopefully have some other fun stuff for next week. All right? Cheers. Be well.